I bought myself a new engine a couple of months ago. It's a Black 5 Hornby, and I've got a little problem with it, because as it goes round to about where you are seeing it now, it derails sometimes, but not all the time. I've also got a problem at the other end where it does it exactly the same. And so what I've decided is that I've actually got the radius completely wrong, bearing in mind that this radius was put down by hand just because it looked good, and at the time the only engine I had to try it on was my diesel electric and 060 shunters, so nothing of this sort of wheel alignment. Because of the wheel arrangement on the Black 5, this track here gets very tight and it doesn't like it too much. This one is okay, but it could do with improving. Now what I found out was this track here, which is purely a siding, is very gentle. So I took a cardboard sort of cutout of what that was, and then I moved it up to there. So if you could put that end on and that end on, I hope you can just see that oh, come back. If the two ends of what I cut from the siding are correct, now there, if you can just see there, I've got a gap of a good sort of what you would call maybe 5 millimeters, 6 millimeters, too sharp. Now when I come to this one here, this one is better, and this one, when they're both on there, is only about 3 millimeters out at the peak. This one here, which is the siding, is great, no problems at all. So this is what I've got to do. I've got to remove the track from this point here. All right, I'll remove this track all the way around to where it joins up on a straight, which is about here, and then I shall relay it shallower, which means it's going to be closer to this one. So this track I will have to take up from there and make that shallower all the way around to here. Now my next dilemma is that I've also got to take up this track, which is the siding track, goes on there, and of course the siding track ends abruptly there, and that's where my station sort of will join it eventually. So I'm going to have to take this one up and move that completely, and then that one and move that completely, and then that one there, that will be the one that will be the start of the shallow, and I shall use this template that I did in cardboard to create that. Now if we go to the other end of my little layout, excuse the mess, it's all work in progress, and with work in progress you can't have work in progress without tools all over the place. That's my excuse anyway. So up at this end we have the same problem. So from that straight where that joint, that point comes out, this one here has got to come this way by about 6 or 8 millimeters. That means that this point will have to be moved, because I would need to move the point up to maybe here, which is going to change the track that goes behind my hillside, which is there. And then I will have to take this track, I can't move that point, because that point is all connected to my my sort of mechanical system for changing points, so I can't move that without loads of trouble, and I don't want to go into that. So from here all the way around to here, this track here has got to come in by about 3 to 5 millimeters, and when that is done I'll have tracks and point change and new entry to the sort of tunnel that goes under the hill that is proposed, and we'll then get back to normality and run trains as we want to run them. One of the first things we have to do before we can rip this track up and replace it is to disconnect all the wires underneath that make it work. But that's the first bit of track that's come up, and now it's a case of getting all this to come up, which just doesn't seem to be not as easy as I originally thought. But then it's hard graft, but we can do it. Concrete there. Time for another slip of tea. Cheers all. I've now got 2 of the tracks up, and this is the problem track. So what I've done, I've used my sort of rough template and I've just put it up so it's touching the wood rail. So what you can see now, the black line, that's now going to be the inner rail. It's going to move to there. Let's hope that works. Now to take this bit of track up. Well, this is the area of track now removed completely. That's where it used to be, all nicely cleaned up. There's the mark for that track, and there's the mark for that track, and then the other tracks will, this side will follow on. They've got to start at that point, and they've also got to start at that point. Let's go the other way now. Yeah, they're not trying to slip off now, so that's a lot better. Thank goodness for that. This will be the first run with the track connected, or that first section of track connected. Now it goes on to the first bit of new track. Beautiful.